In a world where technology has advanced to a level where you can sit at home and do all the things using a virtual headset. Not as big as I am wearing right now, but a better one which looks like an advanced lenses that you can wear all the time. I think I should get those. Hello, and welcome back to every recap ever. Today we are seeing a dark sci-fi movie called Sight Extended. So drop a like and subscribe to our channel so you can never miss a video in future. Without further ado, let's go. Meet Patrick. He is playing video games using his augmented reality lenses. Suddenly his food delivery arrives and he asks the delivery guy to put it at the door and leave. He then opens the door and quickly takes his food. So now let's talk about this futuristic world. So in this world, all the technology has now condensed to small eye lenses. You can do almost anything from browsing social media to play games using the lenses. It's basically Apple Vision, but in lenses form. Okay, so Patrick sees the social media posts of his crush Emily while eating. He works as a sales agent and calls different people to sell the eye lubricants. Patrick is on medication. He has a peculiar situation called agoraphobia, where he's scared to go in public places and crowds. Why he became like this is explained later in the movie. He's undergoing talking therapy sessions to overcome this fear. However, he feels lost most of the time. I bet you are thinking if you have agoraphobia, right? The next day, his sister Angela comes to visit him. She is not at all happy seeing the house's condition. She scolds Patrick about it. She is basically going on a work trip and won't be there for a while. She then asks him for some money and takes him out from Patrick's bank account. Before leaving, she takes his pills box so that she could bring more when she returns. These pills help Patrick with his condition. Days go by, and while taking the bath, Patrick gets a notification of school reunion. He sees all the photos of his friends from school time, but decides not to go. Suddenly, he gets a panic attack, but all the medicine boxes are empty. He tries to call his sister to urgently bring him the pills, but she doesn't pick up. In the end, he decides to go to the pharmacy and takes the step out. As he steps out, he gets intimidated by the environment. Drones flying around, random ads about movies, it makes him anxious. And I think it is true, if VR takes over, I am more worried about ads rather than technological advantage of it. Patrick gives up and blacks out in the middle of the street. Later, he manages to come home and tries to talk to the therapy session host to get some help. Host tries to encourage him, but it triggers Patrick and he starts yelling at everyone. He claims that he is stuck in the same place and pills aren't working. He then shuts down the session in anger. He keeps getting calls from the session and he keeps rejecting it. In the end, he picks up the call and it's one of the members from the therapy session. His name is Alex and he has exactly the same condition which Patrick is suffering from. He feels the same way that these therapy sessions are useless and has a solution for Patrick. Alex tells him about a software called Refresh and hands him the key to install it on his lenses. Patrick finds it a little suspicious. However, Alex reassures him that it is safe and if he doesn't want to use it, he can return the key in the next session. Patrick thinks for a while and decides to use the key. Suddenly a door pops up and he ends up in some kind of back room. It looks like the dark web of augmented reality where you find the rare illegal stuff. He sees Refresh software and decides to install it. After the install is complete, he sees the new layout of the augmented reality. It's like a skill tree where he will get experience doing daily things. He starts doing the work and slowly starts enjoying it. He gets points for every small task and he upgrades his skill tree, similar to what we experience when we play games. In real life, we may have achieved nothing but collecting those shiny objects and getting virtual points gives us instant gratification. He arranges his clothes and sleeps. Next day, he improves his hygiene and cleans his house. When taking out the trash, new software tells him that it is a bomb and needs to be defused. So he enjoys taking out the trash as well. He then goes for a morning run. He starts enjoying the new fun layout as he collects random points in a way. His sister calls him after hearing his condition through voice notes, but he tells her to not worry about him and continues her trip. The next morning, he gets ready and the layout asks him to go on an adventure outside. He stops by a barbershop and buys the conversation extension in the Refresh software. He gathers up the courage and goes to talk to the receptionist. The software gives him the sentences he should say and Patrick starts feeling more confident. He then gets a new haircut and has a good talk with the hairstylist. While talking, the software collects data of his hairstylist and gives Patrick some points to make conversation interesting. I wish I had this technology. My VR only shows me this blue line and the purpose of humanity. Trust me, both are useless. Patrick now feels more confident with new haircut. Apparently, the system posts his new look on social media and he gets the notification from his crush. Emily has liked his photo. Later, he buys a lie detector extension from the Refresh system and starts spending money on himself. He decides to get a new car. His new lie detector plugin tells him the correct price of the car when the car dealer lies to him. This is amazing, but don't worry. This movie is already giving me vibes of another Black Mirror episode. Later, he posts some more photos on social media. He gets a comment from Emily complimenting him. He decides to improve his conversation extension by buying a flirting extension. Meanwhile, Emily, while painting, keeps thinking about Patrick. She even misunderstands someone for Patrick. She knew Patrick had a crush on her in the school, and deep inside she also liked him. His sister Angela returns from her trip and gets shocked seeing the house so cleaned. She tries to find Patrick and sees the skill tree layout on his room's ceiling. Patrick goes for a morning run and ends up at the hill with a good viewpoint. He gets a message from Emily. They talk for a while and he shares the live feed of the view to her. She invites him to an art exhibition the next day. It's basically a date. He returns home and Angela quickly confronts him. She is shocked to see him completely changed and asks about this new refresh software that he is using. She is basically mad because she feels he is getting scammed into using some illegal software. She is aware that he is spending his money and has even taken the loan from the bank. However, he talks rudely to her and it ends up in a heated argument. He accuses her of leeching off him and only helps him for his money. This hurts her and she just leaves the house. The next evening, Patrick gets ready to leave for the exhibition. He gets greeted by Emily and she takes him to see beautiful artwork upstairs. It's basically a beautiful portrait of the city skyline, where you can change the timeline and stars move accordingly. Patrick appreciates the artist, but he is more interested in Emily. Later they have a talk where she tells him about her life and breakup. He even catches her lying using his lie detector when he asks about having a crush on him. She then asks about his life. He hesitates for a bit, but the system suggests him to share everything and be honest to her. He then breaks the silence. Apparently he lost his parents in a car accident and he was in the backseat. Took him a month to recover from the accident. However, he developed agoraphobia after the incident and it grew worse. Emily is a little sad hearing his condition and she suggests something. She wants to know the real Patrick and asks him to remove the lenses. She even takes her lenses off. However, Patrick starts hesitating. This makes her disappointed and she tries to leave. He stops her and promises her to make it up to her tomorrow in the reunion. The next day, he gets the notification of picking up Emily before the reunion. He does his daily things and practices to remove the lenses. He wants to surprise her by doing this. He gets ready for the reunion and even buys more extensions to be prepared. Suddenly his vision glitches and goes dark. He slips and hurts his head. When the system reboots, he finds the refresh software missing. He sees that Angela has logged in from his account, so he immediately calls her. He basically bursts out on her. She tries to make him understand that he was spending too much money on that shady app, so she just reported it from his account. Patrick's panic attack kicks in and he starts taking the medicines again. He even rejects Emily's calls and goes to the session to find Alex again. However, he doesn't find him there. Nobody was aware of the person named Alex. One of the members suspects that Alex might be a sales bot who was scamming people with his app to earn money. The reason they were not able to see him because they had a firewall installed on their lenses. This makes Patrick even more furious, as he knew that software was working for him. He quits the session and decides to go to the reunion. So that guy we saw earlier was just an ad scamming people and not a real person. Welcome to the future. He takes lots of pills while driving and ends up in a dizzy situation. He comes to the reunion in that state and calls Emily. He removes his contacts and tells her he's not scared. This embarrasses her and she leaves to get some tissues for his wound. A guy named Chris starts making fun of him and suggests he should stop thinking about her. This ends up in the fight and Patrick smacks a bottle on his head. The next day he finds himself in a dark room inside the rehab center. Apparently the guy is in a coma from Patrick's attack. The doctor checks his back records and understands his situation. He gives him a proposal. So apparently they have created a new lens to help such people who have mental instability. If Patrick signs the contract to use that lens and behave properly, his sentence time will be reduced. He signs the agreement and they apply new lenses on him. A few months later, Angela comes to the prison to meet Patrick. She apologizes for reporting him. Basically, she was feeling so guilty and didn't know how to face him. However, he greets her with a smile and forgives her. He has changed a lot in this month. This new system is basically the same as Refresh, just without the payment scam. It helps him do his bed, contribute to the community, and even do exercises. He has realized something these past days. This system is just a supplement to become a better human being. He doesn't have agoraphobia anymore and doesn't have panic attacks, even after removing the lenses. He has finally become normal and he has gotten his confidence back. Movie ends with him giving a lecture and sharing his experience in front of other prisoners. He seems happy. After watching this movie, I realized that I don't need this VR headset anymore. Life can be so much more without it, or maybe I will just keep it for now. This is a message to all of us who have become so addicted to technology that we have forgotten what is important in life. Put yourself in place of Patrick and imagine your phones and internet suddenly vanished one day. Will you react the same? Will you panic or be happy? Do let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the recap. Like always, drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more such amazing videos. That's all for today, and we will see you in the next video. See ya.